it's not your country. In a nutshell, it is not your country. And I don't want to talk about having your own properties, because this is irrelevant to our discussion. But the most important thing, that you will be living there all of your life, but you are not a citizen. Okay? You are a foreigner. You will be seen as a foreigner. They will see you as a foreigner. And you will be living with this inferiority, that you are a foreigner. You have to keep quiet. You have to live under the shadow. Otherwise, you will be kicked out. And those who lived in all Arab countries, they know what I'm talking about. This is the reality. Well, we don't want to criticize them for doing that. It is not the time to criticize them. We don't want to say that this is right or this is wrong. It is not the time to say that, but this is the reality. We have to accept it, whether we like it or we don't like it. This is the reality. So that also have to be in mind once we speak about fleeing non-Muslim countries and going back to what? Going back to either the home country, your home country, or leaving your home country to settle in one of those Muslim countries. You have to put that in mind. Many brothers, they try to deceive themselves. Yeah, they go, they find a job in Saudi Arabia, or they find a job in Egypt maybe, or in Qatar, or in Emirat, and they deceive themselves. They go there, they enjoy their life, their families, they enjoy their lives as well, because if they are not willing to cook, food there is very cheap. They can just ring their husbands and just bring some food, ta'miya or kabsa or whatever, and they find it very easy because they go out with their hijab, no comments, no one is staring at them, so they find that it is more Islamic. Actually, it is more easier. It does not necessarily mean that it is more Islamic. Okay, it is more easier, yes, I agree from that angle, yes. Okay, but we have also to remember, brothers, we have also to remember that that is true for a short period of time living there. But when time goes and you reach the age of 60, you need to settle in a country that you feel that it is your country. You have to have a contribution towards the society. You have to feel that you are part of that society. You have to feel that you are contributing towards the advancement of the society there, or the advancement of the Islamic situation in that society. Let alone that you will be facing a situation where your children will be growing up and they need to go to university. They need to receive education. In most of those countries, non-citizens, as is the situation of many countries, non-citizens are not allowed. They don't have access to free universities or free high education. And what happens? People think at that time to send their children to their countries, which are their countries, not Pakistan, not India, not Bangladesh, but to their countries, which is what? The European countries. And because of this, because they have suspicion in their minds about their settlement in those countries, you will rarely find, and I challenge, I haven't seen, you will rarely find a Muslim brother who abandoned his passport, his European passport. Okay? You don't find anyone who went to his embassy telling them, okay, khalas, I have done hijrah here and I don't want your passport anymore. Actually, what you find is that, which I saw myself and maybe many of you have seen, that they denounce their original passport, the Pakistani passport. In some cases I have seen some people denounce their Muslim Arabic passport in order to show their countries that we have your passport only. Okay, what does that mean? It means that in the back of their minds, they are what? They are not settling there. They are feeling that they are not standing on a solid ground in those countries, and they want an exit. They want to put themselves in the safe side and to have an exit whenever it is needed. Okay? That's why, brothers, I always tell those brothers who are talking about Hijrah, I'm telling them, if you are sincere about Hijrah, don't look to go to Hijrah to Saudi Arabia or to Egypt or to Emirates. If you are Pakistani, go to Pakistan. If you really want to do Hijrah, go to Pakistan, because you came from Pakistan and your parents are from Pakistan, your relatives are from Pakistan, you can settle better in Pakistan. In Pakistan, you will not be seen as a Rafiq as they can see you in Saudi Arabia. Ta'al ya Rafiq, ruh ya Rafiq. Okay, if you've been in Saudi Arabia before, you will not be looked down as many people in Egypt look down at some non-Arabs because they don't speak proper Arabic or they don't speak English. You will not be seen as a foreigner as you will be seen in all those countries. That is your country. You can settle there well. You have your own maybe tribe. You have your own relatives. And therefore you can settle better and you can really contribute to the advancement of Islam in that country. You can contribute to the society in that country. You can do much better in that country. But that country, living in that country is not easy, is not as easy as living in Saudi Arabia. That's why people don't choose to go to those countries, and they deceive themselves by saying that they are trying to do Hijrah and they want to go to Saudi Arabia or they want to go to Egypt. So actually there is an internal desire. So this has to be mentioned. Now, what we have been talking about so far, we have been talking about the possible options for Muslims living in Britain. Those options mainly, as we said, is to go, the first option is to go back to their home countries, and the second option is to go to other countries, other Muslim countries such as Saudi Arabia or Qatar or Egypt. Okay, these are those two options. Now, once we want to speak about the ruling of Muslims leaving Kufr country, we have to see the feasibility of those options, the applicability of those options for all Muslims. And I think if you explore that, you will come to a conclusion that in maybe 95% of cases, it is not feasible for Muslims to leave those countries, to leave the non-Muslim countries such as UK and to go back to reside permanently in Muslim countries, whether their original countries or the other Muslim countries. Okay, it is not feasible. So before talking about the permissibility, we see that it is not feasible. So what is the point of telling people that it is not allowed for you to settle in this country, it is not allowed for you to live in this country? Okay, but what shall I do? What shall I do? Leave this country to where? No country is going to accept me to settle there. As we said, in many cases, if the person is a Muslim from India, then you are comparing between a Kufr country and another Kufr country. If a Muslim is coming from a Muslim country, in most of the cases, he cannot settle in his country, especially for the young generation. Most of the young generation, they are British more than they are Pakistanis or Arabs. The mother tongue is becoming what? English. It is not anymore Urdu. It is not anymore Arabic. It is not anymore Bangladeshi. Yeah, that is the reality. So they feel that they have more here than those countries. That's why they don't think, most likely they don't think to go back to those countries. They like to go to some Arab countries because life